I don't know what in the F word is going on with people violating children like this, but at the rate it's going, I thought it was just the teachers. Well, I guess now you have to add a Louisiana mayor to the mix. So this damn fool that y'all see on my screen, ooh, wait until y'all hear what she's been accused of doing. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. Now, I'm getting this information from nypost.com, so thank you for the article. A Louisiana mayor, and I love Louisiana, I love New Orleans specifically, but I got to give y'all the L. The Louisiana mayor, who abruptly took a leave of absence before resigning last week, is accused of raping, rape. I don't know why everybody's scared to say that word. Like, why can't we say it? It's in the English dictionary. It is a actual thing that people are being charged with doing, a crime, right? To innocent people. You should be able to say the word and not be demonetized. I think that's crazy that you can't say rape. I'm going to say the damn word because that's what she's accused of doing. Okay? Accused of raping a minor during her time in office as a mayor. So instead of y'all putting people in office because they're women, and instead of putting people in office because they're the first black mayor, the first black this, or the first woman this and that, the first Supreme Court woman judge, how about y'all start putting people in office and start finding out who people really are? Okay? Just giving people these damn jobs that are just undeserving. Former DeRidder Mayor Misty Roberts was charged with third-degree rape and contributing to the delinquency of juveniles, Louisiana State Police announced on Thursday. An investigation into the 42-year-old mayor, who was in her second term, was opened on July 26th after the Beauregard Parish Sheriff's Office requested the state police look into a complaint against Roberts. As the investigation progressed, LSP SVU conducted interviews with two juveniles, one of which was the victim. Both juveniles confirmed Roberts had sexual intercourse with one juvenile victim while employed as a mayor. A warrant for Roberts' arrest was issued on Wednesday before she surrendered herself to the police. Roberts was booked into the Beauregard Parish Sheriff's Office jail at 10:13 a.m. and released 77 minutes later on a $75,000 bond. Roberts' attorney called his client innocent while calling out law enforcement for not talking with the former mayor before her arrest. That sounds like preferential treatment, but what do I know? It's my honor to represent Misty Roberts. My client learned late last night of the warrant despite not being contacted to be interviewed prior to investigators obtaining the warrant, Adam Johnson said, according to KPLC. My client maintains her innocence, and as it stands, she is in fact innocent. As of now. That's me ad-libbing. Her arrest comes after she announced that she would step away from her office for 2 weeks on July 26th, the same day police launched their probe, the outlet reported. DeRidder Fire Chief Ken Harlow was appointed as her mayor pro tem. But a day later, the disgraced former mayor submitted a letter of resignation to the city council. For nearly 15 years, my love and passion for DeRidder has been my foundation while serving as mayor, Roberts wrote. This role has rewarded me with many great relationships. Choice of words there. I am humbled to have witnessed the hard work that took a community to come together to overcome through unprecedented times. However, I must adjust my focus and priorities. The Louisiana Secretary of State's office must make the resignation official before City Council President Randy Larkin begins serving as the city's mayor pro tem until a new mayor is elected on March 29, 2025. DeRidder, a city of just under 10,000 people, is situated on the west side of the state, approximately 20 miles from the Texas-Louisiana border. Let me give you guys a fair usage. Somebody said that she should be, oh, yeah, let me not read that. I might get in trouble if I read that, but I feel you, and I agree with you. Let's get it.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
If you guys would do me a favor and please share this video, hit that thumbs up so more people can see what this mayor is accused of doing, even though the boys said this is what she did. The victim said this is what she did. And in this case, I want to believe the victim. Let's go.
A Louisiana mayor abruptly resigns from office. Then within days of her resignation, she's booked into jail, accused of raping a minor while she was in office.
It's a very serious crime, and I think that it's important that it be recognized as such.
42-year-old Misty Roberts faces charges of third-degree rape and contributing to the delinquency of juveniles. According to authorities, they began their investigation on July 26, when the Beauregard Parish Sheriff's Office requested the Louisiana State Police Special Victims Unit investigate a complaint against the former mayor. Investigators interviewed 2 juveniles, one of which was the alleged victim. Both would confirm Roberts allegedly had sexual intercourse with the young victim while she was mayor.
It seems to be, oddly enough, that when I look at the people that I've evaluated and we look at some of the high-profile cases, it's not that this is somebody who is, struggling financially, struggling career-wise, unattractive, unmarried. We tend to find people who are the opposite of that when we look at offenders. And so I don't think it's a matter of this person doesn't know better as much as it is a number of other things that are going on for that person.
A warrant for Roberts' arrest was issued, but she would ultimately turn herself into police.
I think whenever we hear about a female who's been accused of some sexual offense, the immediate reaction is surprise, shock, unfortunately, all too often disbelief. It's something I've certainly seen in my clinical practice back in those days. And in my forensic practice, I've been involved in evaluating a number of women who were accused of sexual abuse. But I think it is something that we tend to view with really, like I said, just being stunned, because that's not who we think about when we think about somebody who is a sexual abuser.
Forensic psychologist Dr. Joni Johnston says she's evaluated numerous women offenders convicted of sex crimes and explains their motivations for committing the heinous offenses vary.
It's a relatively diverse group, as it is with male sex offenders. So when you look at female offenders, the most common one that we think about is that, okay, some man must have put her up to this. That's typically what people tend to think. And in reality, that's not the case. About a third of women who sexually offend are doing so in collaboration with a male. So either to please the man, to keep the relationship, or as part of a partner dynamics, which means about 2/3 are solo offenders. And of those, we do find kind of a diversity. We have, women who sadly come from a number of generations where incest and sexual abuse has been a part of their upbringing for a number, for generations, and they oftentimes will abuse their own children. And then we look at who's likely to abuse children outside the home. We see a couple of different, types, if you will. One being the one that we're familiar with is what's kind of colloquially called the teacher lover, the person who is in a caretaking or nurturing role, and they somehow convince themselves that they've fallen in love with this person, and in their mind they see it as a consensual relationship. There's a kind of a denial that this is a power imbalance. There's no consent when you have a minor and an adult, particularly when you have a teacher or somebody in a position of power. And then you see, more rarely the person who has poor boundaries. They're doing things, for example, like providing alcohol to their son or their daughter and their friends. They're partying. They almost want to see themselves as part of the group. And then something happens along those lines.
But through an attorney, the former public official would deny all the claims against her. In a statement to local station KPLC, Roberts' attorney would say, quote, "It is my honor to represent Misty Roberts. My client learned last night of a warrant despite not being contacted to be interviewed prior to investigators obtaining the warrant. My client maintains her innocence, and as it stands, she is in fact innocent. We trust the public will respect our constitutional presumption of innocence, which is fundamental to our system of justice." Misty and her family are very grateful for the support they have received from their friends and neighbors, and we look forward to putting this unfortunate situation behind them.
I think that the language is always so significant. So obviously in this case, we have an attorney representing a client, and so he has to choose his words very, very carefully. But I think a bigger picture, really, Elizabeth, is that the language that I'm seeing in the media, I think represents, to a large extent, our trouble with this topic still. Accused of having sex with a minor. I've seen that many times in relation to this story. And we're not talking about somebody having sex with somebody else. If these allegations are true, we're talking about a sexual offense. We're talking about rape. And so I think it's really important that we pick and choose our words wisely. And I think it does, again, attest to the fact that we still as a society have a difficulty believing any victim of sexual abuse, male or female, and there are particular challenges for boys who are.
It seems like, in my opinion, they go harder for women who are allegedly sexually abused than they do for children. To me.
Are victims of sexual abuse, particularly when the alleged perpetrator is a female, because there weren't that many years ago when this, if this is true, this person would have been, slapped on the back and said, "How lucky are you?" or "This is a rite of passage," or those kinds of things. It's only been the past 20 years we've recognized this as something that's a crime, as opposed to something that to be proud of.
Shortly before Roberts was charged with third-degree rape, she abruptly resigned from her mayoral office, a position she's held for nearly 15 years. According to a report by KPLC, the now disgraced mayor was being investigated for alleged misconduct while in office. According to the report, a special meeting for the DeRidder City Council was called for Tuesday, July 30th, to consider an investigation into the misconduct allegations. At that time, Roberts was supposed to be away from City Hall on leave for more than 2 weeks. As the council president said, her leave began on Friday, July 26th, and would continue through August 10th. But in a stunning turn of events, on July 27th, just a day after Roberts' leave began, she suddenly announced she would be resigning from office. In a statement written by her, Misty Roberts would address her fellow city council members, writing, "For nearly 15 years, my love and passion for DeRidder has been my foundation while serving as mayor. I will forever be proud of what we have been able to accomplish together. This role has rewarded me with many great relationships. I'm humbled to have witnessed the hard work that took a community to come together and overcome through unprecedented times. However, I must adjust my focus and priorities. Please accept this letter as my formal resignation effective today. To the residents of the city, thank you for your trust, love, and support in me to lead our city into our future of greatness. My love for DeRidder will never waver." That announcement would come just 5 days prior to Roberts turning herself in. It's unclear at this time what the misconduct was in reference to or if it had anything to do with a criminal investigation into her. But Dr. Johnston says it's probably best for Roberts to step down.
All right, here we go.
A major development involving DeRidder's former mayor, Misty Roberts Clanton. She's been arrested for rape allegedly involving a juvenile. Good evening, I'm Cynthia Arsenault. The State Police Special Victims Unit interviewed 2 juveniles, including the alleged victim. Both confirmed Roberts had sex with the one juvenile while employed as mayor. 42-year-old Roberts is facing 1 count of third-degree rape and 1 count of contributing to the delinquency of juveniles. She's been released on a $75,000 bond. It'll be up to a grand jury to decide if she'll be officially charged. Roberts resigned as mayor just 5 days ago. Her arrest follows a tumultuous week in DeRidder. Roberts said she'd be away from the office for 2 weeks, appointing an interim mayor on Friday. She then resigned Saturday. Attorney Adam Johnson is representing Roberts. He said in a statement, quote, "My client maintains her innocence, and as it stands, she is in fact innocent. She has not been charged with the crime and or convicted of any crime, and we trust the public will respect her constitutional presumption of innocence, which is fundamental to our system of justice," end quote. Now, we'll continue to update this story as new details are released on air and online at KPLC.
Of course, she's got money, so needless to say, they're going to put out all the politically correct messages all up in the videos. But nonetheless, we hope that we can get justice in this situation and just pray for these kids. Y'all need to watch your kids. And again, you're starting to see that the uptick in these people messing with boys. I think it's been going on for a long time. Don't just think it's just girls they're after. Watch your boys, ladies and gentlemen. Watch all your children. Thank you guys so much. Be diligent, and hopefully we'll see what comes of this case. But with her having a little bit of influence and power, I just don't really believe in the system taking care of this the way that they're supposed to. But I guess we'll just see what happens, okay? Louisiana, I hope y'all don't drop the ball on this. Thank you.